All right, here is, well, not my base because this was the least birch before, and we did a white coat, and then I did the gray gel stain and wiped it off. And so that gives you that, but we really wanted the dark green to show up. So here's the black gel stain, and instead of covering the whole thing, what we really want is in the cracks, in the corners and creases. That's where we want it, so I'm going to put that just in the corner. If I keep the brush wetter with it, I can get into there without spreading my brush around a whole bunch. I'm just, in theory, I'm putting less down, I don't know. Get these outside corners. See how it goes easier when it's wet. Missing stuff really doesn't matter. We're going to cover everything in the next step. This isn't like paint. I'm not dipping it down hardly at all. I'm just barely touching my brush into stuff. Okay, now I've been letting this sit for 2 minutes, but since we're recording with the phone, I don't have a timer. And I don't know how critical the 2 minutes is, but I've been getting good results with it. So, oh, and on the gray, I did 5 minutes and then wiped off. Well, you can just tell me when it's 2 more minutes-ish. It's not real important, I don't think.
I hope you know how to do video editing if you're going to say that stuff in the video. No one cares about that. I was going to say, she mentioned the milk paint while I was doing our camera.
Oh, well, yes. I wanted to do milk paint on the white base because I really don't want, I wanted this grain to show up, and I was afraid if I used a good, I mean, you really should be using enamel. It's kitchen cabinets. But I don't want it to fill in that grain, so I did milk paints, but unfortunately it was not near the quart it was supposed to make. So then I took some trash latex that I had and mixed it 50-50 with that, and came up with a more liquid mix than I would if it was straight latex. It did put down just a really thin coat. Sometimes I went back and did 2 coats just because areas didn't look right, but I didn't want that pink coming through. That's what it looks like if you just do gray and no white. Oh, and I did some black on there, but okay. Now, I need just enough in here for the middle. I'm not going to cover the whole thing. I've got my full-on dirty rag. I've got my half dirty rag, which I keep turning to get clean spots. And then I've got a somewhat clean rag for my other hand to hold this thing still. So I'm gonna take my full dirty rag. You could apply it to the rag and then to that, whatever you want. But I'm gonna start spreading this around. And this is putting down a much thinner coat than I did with the gray when I literally painted it on and let it sit. Get the edges. Okay, now instead of letting it sit, I'm just going to start cleaning it off. So, find clean spots, start wiping it off. All right, now it's the tops and bottoms that get tricky and maybe artistic, because anytime I go crossways trying to clean out the ends, I mean, it works on these sides, but on the ends, of course, you can see your strokes. I had a feeling with the same method, you could easily fake wood because of the strokes that you're putting in. Okay, I need a clean spot. Alright, be more clean. What do I got? There we go. Alright, sideways, and then just try to pull it down. Sideways. Try to get in those corners and just pull it out and work it even. And still, no matter what I do, it tends to be a little bit darker on the ends, but I think it kind of goes with the style anyway. Okay, now, can't forget about the sides. This rag and a dirty spot was enough to just rub the sides, get them even. Okay. Now the back. Back, there's no wood texture to play with really, so I'm just going to put this on really lightly. Okay, I'm taking my rag and rub it out. It just evens it all out. So if you had a flat area, this would definitely be the way to do it. Okay, and of course, it shows fingerprints like crazy. It is oils after all. Okay, now I need to go back and check my front because holding on to it, yeah, see, I'm holding on to it with a rag. It starts cleaning it off in those areas a little bit. It's like fingerprints even through the rag. Okay, and there it is.